Hi, I'm Dan Bradbury. I'm the Chief Product Officer at UpGuard, and it's great to be talking to you again. It's been a busy 3 months since my last update. This quarter, we've done 6 major releases and countless smaller ones, adding over 30 new features to the platform. Today, I'll run you through a few of these new features, as well as our plans for this quarter. To see the full list of new functionality, check out the release notes section on our website. At UpGuard, our mission is to protect your data. Piece by piece, we're building a platform that identifies all the ways in which your data can be compromised and offers easy, practical solutions to shut down potential threats. In my last update, I talked about 3 of the features we were working on: vendor reporting, additional evidence, and enhanced vulnerability detection. I'm pleased to say these are all now live, so I can talk you through them. And as much as I love discussing the great new features we've added, I'm even more excited to talk about our plans for this quarter. Today, I'll run through 3 of our focus areas: subsidiaries, IP address monitoring, and a brand new product called cyber research. So let's get into it. The first feature I'm going to talk about is our new vendor report. Now, if you're a user of our platform, you can see rich, up-to-date information about your vendors. But sometimes you need to share this information with people who don't have access to UpGuard. For instance, an InfoSec team might review a vendor and need to share their assessment with other people in the company, or maybe even with the vendor themselves. Our platform lets you export data in a few different ways, via our API, into Excel, or as a PDF, and these make sense to UpGuard users. But if you're not familiar with UpGuard, you probably want more context, like where the data came from, how it was collected, how recent it is. And if you're not an InfoSec professional, you want a less technical explanation. Our new vendor report has been designed to share vendor risk information with a broader audience. You can include any of the risks identified through our automated scanning, security questionnaire responses, and any other security documents provided by the vendor. If you've captured your own analysis using our risk assessment feature, you can include that too. The risks are described in plain English, and the report clearly explains how the evidence is collected and the methodology used. It looks amazing, and you can even brand the report with your own logo. We're continuing to improve the ways you share information from the platform, and the new vendor report is just the latest edition. Second feature I'm going to talk about is called additional evidence. Part of assessing a vendor involves collecting information about them. In the past, this has been heavily reliant on sending security questionnaires. To reduce the effort of responding to questionnaires, more and more companies are proactively publishing security information. This typically includes independent audit reports and certifications, as well as completed security questionnaires. These documents often include all the same information you get from sending the vendor your own security questionnaire. And while some of our customers still insist on sending their own questionnaire, many others are keen to avoid the time and effort this takes. These customers want to be able to use the information that already exists. Our new additional evidence feature lets you assess vendors using information they proactively provide rather than forcing you to send a security questionnaire. So how does it work? You simply add the documents to the vendor's profile, review them, and capture any risks. These risks appear in the vendor's profile just like any others. And when you use our risk assessment feature to capture your analysis of a vendor's security posture, you can draw on these risks as part of your evidence. You save time by using existing information and still maintain a record of exactly what evidence was used to assess a vendor. This is one more piece of the puzzle in terms of helping you assess your vendors faster while maintaining a comprehensive audit trail. The third feature I'm going to talk about is our enhanced vulnerability detection. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that running old software versions with known vulnerabilities is a huge security risk. So being able to identify and remediate these is an essential part of any information security program. To get a sense of the scale of this problem, let's take PHP as an example. According to W3 Tech, nearly 80% of all websites run on PHP. Out of these, a massive 2/3 run on a discontinued version and therefore don't receive security updates. Let me do the maths for you. 2/3 of 80% means over 50% of all websites run on old, unsupported versions of PHP. Combine this with the fact that in 2019, 11% of newly discovered vulnerabilities were linked to PHP, and it becomes clear that an enormous number of websites are at risk. We've been helping our customers identify these vulnerabilities for some time, and now we've made our vulnerability detection even better. One of the improvements we've made is that we now differentiate between verified and unverified vulnerabilities. As you may know, UpGuard detects vulnerabilities based on software version information that websites and servers expose. So if a website exposes the version of WordPress they're running, we identify any vulnerabilities associated with that version. Sometimes we're able to verify that a website is definitely exposed to a vulnerability, whereas other times this isn't possible without conducting more invasive scanning, which we quite consciously don't do. When you're trying to prioritize remediating vulnerabilities, whether they're yours or one of your vendors, it's obviously valuable to know whether or not they definitely exist. We now tell you whether the vulnerabilities are verified or unverified. If you confirm that an unverified vulnerability doesn't exist, you can dismiss it in the platform and you won't see it again. We've also improved the way vulnerabilities appear in the risk profile. Previously, all vulnerabilities for a given website would appear grouped together as a single risk. This meant that if you wanted to request remediation, you couldn't target an individual vulnerability. Now, each verified vulnerability appears individually, giving you more fine-grained control over remediation. We know how important vulnerability management is to our customers and will continue to invest in this area. There are a couple more features we released last quarter that I do want to briefly mention. The first is our new Audit Log. A number of our customers told us they wanted a central place where they can see who is doing what within the platform. This includes seeing who's logging in, monitoring new vendors, sending questionnaires, and so on. All of this information is now available in our new Audit Log. You'll see this if you're an admin user on your account, and you can search and filter the information to easily find what you're looking for. The final feature I'm going to mention is our Servicenow app. We know how important it is to be able to integrate UpGuard into your broader ecosystem, and we provide a number of ways to get data into and out of our platform. We're hearing from our customers that they want pre-built connectivity to a wide range of third-party systems. And Alan Sharp-Paul, our co-CEO, is now personally running a program to build out this capability. The first integration partner we've gone live with is Servicenow, and later on today, Alan will run you through our new Servicenow app. So that's a whirlwind tour through some of the new features we've released. Now I want to tell you about some of the features we're planning to launch this quarter. I'm going to talk about three things: subsidiaries, IP address monitoring, and a brand new product we're working on called Cyber Research. The subsidiaries feature is about making it easier to navigate complex organizational hierarchies and understand exactly where risks lie. Many of our customers are large organizations, whether it's a government with various agencies and departments or a corporation with multiple subsidiaries. These customers typically want to be able to see their entire security posture in one place and also break it down and hone in on a particular part of it. Our subsidiaries feature lets you see all the entities that make up your organization in a single view and easily navigate between them. You can drill into a particular subsidiary and explore its risk profile. For a government, this might mean looking at the security posture of a particular department. We also provide a whole of organization view that lets you see how individual risks affect your entire portfolio, For instance, a global organization might want to understand its exposure to a particular vulnerability across all its subsidiaries. As well as making it easy to navigate your own organizational structure, the subsidiaries feature gives you a clearer picture of the vendors you're monitoring by showing how they're structured too. We've been working really closely with a number of our customers on this feature to give them more flexibility in how they manage their risk. We're certain it'll be useful for a lot of other organizations as well. The second feature we're working on is called IP address monitoring, and it's about providing a more complete picture of your own internet presence and that of your vendors. Our scanning engine is continuously monitoring for cyber risks related to you and your vendors. One of the ways to view these risks is through the list of domains we know about for a given organization. We already show you which IP addresses the domains point to, and now we're working on a new view that provides more comprehensive information about these IP addresses. You can see all the addresses being used by an organization in one place, including any IP address ranges they own, the ASNs they correspond to, and where organizations have multiple domains pointing to the same IP addresses. This gives you a more complete picture of an organization's internet presence, including, for instance, visibility of the geographies in which they're operating and the cloud infrastructure providers they're using. Where organizations own IP address ranges, we periodically scan them and alert you whenever new activity is detected. If you have an IP address range assigned to you but don't necessarily own it, you can add this in your profile too, and will regularly scan it to look for new activity. Monitoring IP address ranges can be particularly useful if there are multiple teams within your company spinning up new servers and you want help identifying when this happens so you can make sure they're secure. We're constantly improving the way we collect and display risk information, and our new IP address monitoring capability will be a big step forward in terms of giving you complete visibility of an organization's internet presence. The final new feature I'll talk about is a new product we're launching early next year called Cyber Research. I'm not going to ruin the surprise by giving away all the details, but what I will say is that many of our customers struggle to access the right cybersecurity expertise. For some, they're looking to augment their own capability to get through busy periods. For others, they might need help setting up a specific function like vendor security monitoring. Over the last few years, we've worked closely with many of our customers to develop services for data leak monitoring and managed vendor security assessments. These have now matured really well and are ready for a broader market launch. We continue to see a lot of demand for them, and along the way, our customers have suggested a number of other services they'd like us to provide. So Cyber Research will bring together and expand these services, providing you with more ways to leverage our cybersecurity expertise. We're super excited about the launch of Cyber Research, so stay tuned for more details. To wrap it up, we're busier than ever working on ways to help our customers protect their data. This quarter, we've released a number of new features, including a new vendor report, additional evidence for vendor assessments, and enhanced vulnerability detection. Some of the new things we're working on include support for subsidiaries, IP address monitoring, and a brand new product called Cyber Research. Thanks for taking the time to listen today, and I'll look forward to answering any questions you have in our Q&A session.